Hi guys, Brennan Rosselot here at BoatEFX, and today we are going to go over how to install our bow mounts. In front of you I have a few tools laid out for the job. We're going to need some basic stuff like a set of Allen wrenches, a drill or an impact, a screwdriver, and we need a half inch wrench and a 7/16 wrench to start the job. Today we are installing this bow mount on a Camus CX20. What we do today is going to be pretty similar on just about any boat you do. Just the only thing that's going to really be different is the plate. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Behind us, I have everything laid out that you will get when you purchase it. It'll all show up in a box, all wrapped up really nice. We've got our gimbals. You know, all the hardware will be in bags and be labeled. Kickstand parts, everything will be bagged up and labeled, so it's easy for you to get, all with instructions. So the first thing we need to start off with is getting our riser mounted. So it is going to come with the locks on it. Inside your graph lock box, you're going to have keys. You'll have all the bolts and everything for your locks, but there will be sets of keys in there also. So you need to get those out so we can unlock these locks on the feet. This just goes in here. There's a little notch, lines up with the lock, quarter twist, and off it comes. Now we also have the non-locking version too, so if you purchase the non-locking version, you will not have these pieces on here, you'll just have some hardware, so this step you won't even have to worry about. Alright, we need to get this thing mounted where we want it. On this Camus, it's going to be pretty straightforward because we've got this. We like to get it as centered as we can get it. Probably more up this way just so it's out of the way of everything. I like to do kind of a mock-up on see where everything's going to sit. So we'll go ahead and get this out. Everything looks like it's going to be good and it's going to clear where it's sitting. It's always good to do a mock-up first so you make sure you only have to drill this once. Alright, with your riser you're going to have all the mounting hardware is going to be provided. So we can go ahead and lay that down and get these bolts out. Now the key to this is that you use the right size drill bit so that you don't waller the holes out or open them up too big, or if you make them too small, these bolts might break when you screw them in. So the size that I recommend is a 5/32. Go ahead and get that back where we wanted it. It's pretty straight. Go ahead and get one of those in there just to hold it down in place. Now I would leave everything just a little bit loose until we get all the bolts in, and then we'll snug them all down tight. Okay, we've got one over here. We're going to go ahead and put one over here just so we can keep it in place, and then we'll go ahead and drill all the holes. All right, now that we've got all the screws started in, we need to be mindful when we tighten it down not to tighten this down too much to where it pulls this down underneath the carpet, because we do have to be able to get these locks back on. So as you can see, that's going to fit good, so we'll go ahead and snug all these down. All right, now that we got that screwed down, we'll go ahead and put our locks back on. If you didn't get locks, again, you can skip this stage. Just slide those right back on and compress that button. For those of you that did order the non-locking versions, you can purchase the locks individually and everything can be added later on. Now we're going to bust out the bridge and go ahead and get this installed. Same deal, if you bought the locking, you got to take the lock off. All that hardware is also will be all bagged up and labeled. Let's go ahead and get this out. Go ahead and start putting these together, getting everything lined up. It's all stainless hardware too, so it will not rust. Go ahead and get everything started so we don't lose anything. Now we got to tighten all these down. This will be a 5/32 Allen wrench, fits these heads, and then a 7/16 wrench or a ratchet, whichever one you prefer to use. All right, now we'll get them all tight. All right, now that we got the bridge installed and all tight, we're going to move on to our kickstand. You will get 3 pieces, and depending on which height mount you got, they'll be a little bit different looking, but most boats will not use this center piece. If it does need it, you just put it together like this. If it's not needed, because you need it a little bit shorter, you can just put these two together and use them as they're adjustable as well. What we need to do is mock up the location of where we're going to put this, because we do have to drill this piece into the plate. Again, all your hardware for this is going to come labeled in the bag with the kickstand. If you guys are curious what the benefit of the kickstand is to begin with, this thing is rock solid. It's not going to move. However, when you start adding a bunch of weight on this top rung, you can get a little bit of flex. The kickstand being added to the back is going to take all the flex out of the top of this, all the vibration, as well as keep your whole thing from vibrating. So over time, you're not going to have to worry about the screws that you just screwed into your fiberglass floor getting wallered out from your mount shaking, because you're going to have this kickstand supporting everything in the back. So on this Camus, we don't need this centerpiece, just kind of an idea. Lining up in the back, you can tell the centerpiece would have been too long, so we only need these 2 pieces. Everything's here. You've got one 1/4 bolt in here that's shorter than the rest, and that will be to mount this piece to your bridge. If you're only using 2 pieces, then these other 1/4, you only need 2 of them. And just push those through there. Get the nuts started on the back. And then we'll go ahead and get this set up with these 1/4 that are 1 inch long. And then we'll get this one started. And I like to keep all the bolt heads facing the same direction for a cleaner look. And this is where we need that 5/32 wrench again. It's the same. All these take a 7/16 Allen wrench. So now we'll go ahead and get this bolted on in the back. I'm going to keep everything loose because we have to do got to take it off to do a little bit of drilling. Okay, so now we've got an idea about right there is where we want that kickstand to be mounted. Everything will be tight. Now we just need to mark these holes, and we got to drill into this plate. All right, guys, we found the ideal kickstand location. We've got this plate off. You're not going to be able to see it really well, but I did mark 2 holes. These are 1032 screws, so the best size drill I've recommend for that is a number 7. That's kind of a weird number. You can always just measure these and find a drill that's just a little bit bigger. 1/4-inch drill will be fine. Anything, you just want this, needs to be able to go through this hole. All right, we went ahead and got these holes drilled on here. So we need to get this kickstand mounted. Got 2 small 1032 bolts. Go ahead and run those through there. And this is through bolted, so we've got nuts and washers. Get ourselves a wrench, and we need an 1/8-inch Allen wrench for these heads on this side. Okay, those are good and tight. Now we just need to reinstall the plate. All right, we've got the plate back installed, so now we can go ahead and finish installation of our kickstand. I also wanted to point out, just before we finish this up, that not everybody's boat's the same, so you just kind of want this kickstand in the most ideal location you can have it without being super extended if you can. I mean, I've seen some that have to be bolted in some weird places, but they're just going to work all the same. It's just more rigid if you can keep it, less extension. Go ahead and get this screwed on. Also, again, depending on what boat you've got and where your plate's located, we do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different mounting locations for the kickstand. Like if your plate's way off to the right from your mount, you can always move your kickstand over. Everything lines up good. Get that bolt in there. Good tight fit. There we go. Snug this up. That one's snugged up. These are made to pinch together against your kickstand once you have it all tightened. Don't need a wrench for these because they do have a pocket on the back. And then we'll snug this one up at the top. Kickstand's tight, everything's tight. Now we can move on to actually getting our graphs installed. All right, now we're ready to install the graphs. You're gonna get all your gimbals. These will be labeled on the bottom of them. When you get them in the package, it'll either say port side or starboard side. This curve goes in the back. So it'll sit on there like this with the curve in the back. Now what I like to do best, so I can get these 2-piece style gimbals really tight to my units. So I kind of just like to sit them on here and give myself kind of an idea of what angle I want this at. So about like that. And then we will go ahead and install all the hardware. If you got non-locking version, then you can just use your factory knobs. Go ahead and screw them right into this. If you did buy the locking version, we did include a lock pocket in the locking version for our graph locks to sit tightly in so they can't be twisted. Your graph locks are going to come with all your hardware. If you bought the locking version, you will not need this spring pin like our graph lock instructions say. This is for factory gimbals. So now we just need to find the bolt that fits the Lowrance. I always say you should You know, run it in there first before you take a guess and strip out your unit. Okay, so now we'll go ahead and use our keys. Get these unlocked. Same as the bow mount locks. It lines up with the detent. 1/4 twist. They'll slide right apart. You can stick one of these white washers in here. Get our gimbal back on somewhere where we wanted it. We can always adjust it later. Once we climb up on the boat and see. Again, I prefer to do it this way because I feel like you can get these gimbals really tight. Now the washers that you put in here is just going to depend on what unit you're using. With our gimbals, one white washer inside here with the Lowrances seems to work pretty well. These look pretty good. I'm not snugging everything down yet because I want to sit it up here and you know, we can always adjust this angle if we need to. We're going to have a pretty big bag of hardware that comes with the gimbals. It's going to be labeled as well. Go ahead and pour all this out on the deck. Each one of these takes 8 bolts. So we'll go ahead and get 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Go ahead and get some washers started on them. And then we can start feeding them in here. Okay, so these are on slots. Everything's all slotted so you can move it side to side if you want to. If you buy an 18-inch mount, you will get the 2-inch offset on your bridge in case you need to slide it over to clear your trolling motor. So if you want, before you snug everything down, you can deploy your trolling motor. The Ultrexes are bad with the cable. So you'll be able to move this out of the way of the cable if you need to. So like I said, before you snug it all down, you can run a test run and make sure it's all where you want it. All right, everything's tightened down. The gimbals are tight, mount's tight, everything's good to go. Pretty much just need to button it up. If you got the non-locking version, everything's good up here. If you bought the locking version, we'll go ahead and slide our locks on. Now we just need to run these cables and button this thing up. Now that we've got all the wires ran, as you can see here, they all come up through this nice center pocket. One of the most important things you need to keep in mind if you did buy the locking version is to install this lock before you pull all these cables up, because you won't be able to get it on. Now those are all done. We've got one cool little product right here called the wire trap. If you are plates, we do sell these plates separately. All of them will come pre-drilled so that you can install a wire trap, which is also a separate product, but that's just going to cover up all your wires real neatly so that you don't have that rubber grommet. If you do purchase one of our plates and you don't want to purchase the wire trap, we will include a rubber grommet as well to protect your cables. We're going to finish up with a pack of our BoatEFX screen cleaner. Get these graphs cleaned up for the customer. That is available on our website and comes packaged just as we showed it here. Now that this is all finished, you can see how rock solid it is. Our current customer chose this gray color, but we do have this available in 10 different colors as well, so that you can really match your boat. Thank you guys for watching this video. Check out BoatEFX.com for all of our mounts and all of our options.